Guys? Here to do a quick little market update. It's gonna be a very quick video as I got some stuff I gotta do. Like I said, I'm moving over the weekend here into a new place, so just dealing with all of that headache. But want to do a little video here just on this, $1,000, green dildo we had here that had everyone's panties in a bunch online, and just kind of remind everyone to always have the higher time frame perspective in mind, and show you guys again the importance of that, and then also show you that this is a move all of you could have caught based on levels and trades and analysis that we posted in the Telegram. That wasn't just me. I'm recording now. Other guys, I think Shads was in here. He caught a move perfectly, or at least charted it. And this is what I love to see from you guys. I love to see that you're, in the charts, drawing these levels yourself. You're not just, copying what I did. I love to see that kind of stuff. So this is gonna be a quick video. We'll do another longer one where I talk way too much next time. But anyways. The reason I want to start on the 60-minute chart here is because from a 60-minute chart, I get that, people might be like, all right, the bottom is in and we're bullish, right? We have this huge green candle. Imagine this order block wasn't here, right? Huge green candle, breaking market structure, breaking this significant swing high, even breaking this swing high. So huge green candle, everyone's on Twitter, you saw it. You guys saw this. I don't even need to show this to you. The sentiment, has changed. The sentiment just changed online. This is again, why I tell you guys I'm on Twitter, who I'm following. The sentiment has clearly changed. Crypto Dale here thinks that we are maybe in disbelief. I don't know. Kind of looks like that's what he's posting there. I'm assuming this is Bitcoin. Actually, I'm not for certain though. But it's been significant online, and not so much now today, maybe with it dropping down a little bit, but definitely at least my feed, and I'm sure lots of your guys' feed, you've been seeing a lot more bullish charts, people saying that being bears, or being a bear is being dumb, all that sort of shit. I personally can't stand the terms when people are like, oh, well, you're a bear or you're a bull. I actually got in a little bit of an argument with someone yesterday online who then ended up throwing me in his follow for follow. So thank you, Scarface. I think he was just having a rough day or something along those lines. And, we were able to squash the beef. But, he was, right, we've got, this guy's been great, Crypto Horn Harris. He's been pretty spot on this whole move. And he's kind of one of those, counterparty voices of reason, usually the guys you want to listen to, who's not listening to the same masses, excuse me. So yeah, this guy, a 200 to 300 red candle does not all of a sudden mean we go to 3K. Bitcoin's always been volatile. That's why both bears are so full of themselves. Blah blah blah. Same thing could be said for this green candle. $1,000 green candle does not mean all of a sudden we're going to all-time highs again. And basically what I told this guy is, I've never said that we're going to 3K once. And I've been posting long and shorts. And my point here, guys, is that you don't need to be a bull or a bear. The best traders are nimble. And so when people try and stick me and say, oh, well, and you guys have said this in the chat, well, are you bullish now? Are you still bearish? I'm neither. I'm trading the price action that's in front of me. And to remind everyone, on the daily time frame, this does not look in any way, shape, or form as bullish to me. It's a nice move up, but I mean, look at how much bigger this move up is. This is a 100% move right here, and everyone's freaking out over one candle. Albeit it's a big candle. And if you caught that long, that's a great trade. But in terms of major market structure shifting, at least on the daily, in higher time frames, let alone the weekly. I mean, this means jack shit on the weekly. What about this candle? Everyone, the sentiment on Twitter on February 12th, I guarantee, very similar to the sentiment here. People saying this was the bottom, this is the proof that's not the bottom anymore. And then, what happened a few weeks later, we're back down around this low. Um, so that's what I want to remind you guys, here real quick. Always zoom out to the daily. Keep in mind that, we're clearly in a downtrend. So any longs you're taking here are counter to the overall higher time frame market structure, which right now is bearish. So I want everyone to remember that, zoom out. Don't get caught staring at a chart like this and saying, holy shit, Bitcoin's bottomed out, it's bullish. Another thing to note here on the daily, we got this nice daily order block here. And what did we have on this long? We had, some consolidation down here. And then we had a stop run right above this daily order block. Pretty common to see that. Stops hiding up here. And if we go down to a 4-hour, you guys remember on this daily order block, this swing high here, this is the swing high that we used to catch this trade. If you remember, this was about 2 or 3 videos ago. We talked about we caught this short here. This 7,500 level is an order block EQ. It's equilibrium of an order block. We had the nice retracement on the higher time frame, and we nailed this one. We posted this one in advance. All of these levels have been here forever. But what does that mean? On a higher time frame, you got to remember, if we're pulling our fib from here to here and entering here, our stops are up here, right? I closed my trade out down here. But there's people who haven't. There's people who were right and caught this short, but they didn't lock in profits. They didn't move their stops down. And there's, a nice consolidation here, a swing high above a daily order block. There's going to be liquidity there. And where does the market maker take it? Right on through there and absorb all that liquidity. So another thing we can look at on this time frame here is, what did we have? We had an accelerated sell-off, right? Created a swing low, and then we actually broke through that low. So there were knife catchers here. There were bottom catchers that were trying to catch the bottom and go long. They were trying to catch this move here. And what does the market maker do? You get stopped out, and then we take it out, and we also blow out these shorts, right? These guys were late to the party. They tried to short the bottom. They put their stops up here. They tried to short this breakdown, right? Breakout, this breakdown here, right here. This stops out people trying to catch the bottom long, and this also gets people to try and short the bottom, seeing a breakdown here, trying to short it, probably put their stops over this swing high, this one, maybe this one. What happens? Price comes up into an order block. Remember, this is an OB here. The reason I deleted it is so my chart's not too busy. Price isn't around there right now. We've got this one here, so I didn't find it necessary. But remember, this is the EQ of an order block, and all of these guys got stopped out. We had this range, that we'd kind of been in for a while, almost as long as we'd been doing these market breakdowns. But we showed you several longs that were available, albeit counter trend. So, tight stop losses, good risk management. We showed longs here that you could have caught, several of these moves. Remember, we had the short up here, and then what did we say was going to happen? We were covering our short down here. But what was retail doing? Retail was shorting here. They're shorting at 6,900. I mentioned this in the April 9th video, I believe. People were shorting here, 7,200. People were shorting more here, the break of this low. People trying to short here. Fake breakdown. Everyone was getting short. And then remember, we had a long here. I think it was right? You could have gotten long here, and where would you? I don't remember exactly. We had a few that we marked off with different hourly order blocks, if you guys remember. We had one here. We had a few of them that would have targeted people who were getting short late, right? So the ideal short was up here from that last major move. And then there was people trying to catch the short late, and those guys got stopped out. We talked about this, right? They fake break it low. People are shorting the bottom. They're putting their stops up here, here, and here, right? And then what happens? They plow it right through. And then we had multiple opportunities. I think we showed you could walk up, and there was a few longs here that you could have participated in. We have an hourly order block here, right? An opportunity to get long right here. This is an hourly order block right here. We drew this one out already. This stuff already happened. So I'm not going to spend too long on this because we already talked about it. But there's a retracement into an hourly order block. And where are we targeting? We're targeting these stops, and ultimately I discussed we're targeting these stops up here. I mentioned I think the bottom of this order block gets around here. We were mentioning I wouldn't be surprised if we took out stops up into this order block, right? Never happened. Luckily, we are smart and we take profit along the way. And then we had this short here, right? And where could you find the entry for that short? I don't know, maybe the most recent swing, right? Is that not perfect delivery of an ICT short right there? OTE right here, and this is in confluence with an hourly order block here. I believe there's a 4-hour order block. I'm not going to do it right now because we already discussed these moves in the last video, but there was a short opportunity here. This is a much more higher probability trade simply because you're in trend with the higher time frame market structure. What did we see here? We saw some of this inefficient price moves filled in here, right? But just like we're filling in inefficient price moves from here, they got filled on the way back here. This is inefficient. You knew that they were going to fill this void. We mentioned this in the group. I posted charts about it. There's a void here that had to get filled. And where is the entry? If we're on top of a very strong daily order block here, we have an hourly bullish order block here. And if you notice here, this is a common pattern that you'll see. You'll see a low, accelerated selling. This is a Richard Wyckoff, I don't know how to say his name, but common, market phases, he calls them, right? You have accumulation, you have the markdown, the markup, the spring, all that shit. I don't Wyckoff too much. I know DJ Thistle does a lot of that. I know other traders do. But a Wyckoff move here would be the accelerated sell-off. Volume here would be at a max, and I'm not going to just talk shit, I'll actually show you, right? High volume sell-off, right? Huge volume on the sell-off. And then we have a failed sell-off that breaks low, so people start shorting this, but it's on low volume, right? I think they call that the spring or something, or the failed mark-off. Essentially, it's a stop run on all these people who are trying to short the bottom or trying to catch the long bottom. They all get run out, and it's on low volume. And then we have a higher low form, right? Which led me to believe that we're going to see a fill of all of this inefficient price action. Because if you remember, after we took this short, I mentioned I would not be surprised if later they come back for these stops. They're too easy. It's too clean. There's very easy, not everyone got the short. There's liquidity above this consolidation here. There's liquidity here. And there's, of course, a ton of liquidity up here. They're not going to leave that. And so when we were sitting down here forever, you had to know that they were going to come back for these stops. We saw a stop run into a higher time frame block and then a higher low form. So what do? We measure the swing. We wait for our entry, right? I mean, all of this was, kind of within the ICT OTE with confluence of higher time frame, blocks. You could have done this swing here as well, right? Perfect delivery of, the 69% retracement. And again, the fib is just a measuring tool. What you're looking for is a move away. It's breaking market structure. We want the retrace into an order block, and then we're targeting liquidity above the market here, and obviously here, and ultimately up here. And I posted this long on Twitter. I posted it in the group. We talked about it. I took off quite a bit of my long Um, and of course, TradingView's deleted all my levels again. I don't know what's going on, guys. I deleted the app. I'm still having fucking issues. I paid for premium. Generally, I'm just pissed off, but you know, what can you do? Anyways, we posted this long on the group. We posted this, you know, so this is that exact swing I just highlighted there, right? There to there. Perfect delivery. What else is here? Remember, I would still have this, but this is a 15-minute breaker in here. That broke market structure here. It's deleted it, obviously. Fuck it. It's a tutorial. Just go in and draw it. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Never mind. Where's this fucking thing? It's right here. Down candle. I mean, this whole section really you could just highlight, but it's this down candle here. Right, what do we get? Perfect delivery, right? So we highlight the swing, retest of the breaker, OTE, higher time frame order block, a lot of confluence, ton of liquidity above the market. And what else did we have, guys? We had Twitter sentiment becoming very bearish. Everyone thinking this is the bottom, you know, Bitcoin's going to 3K, whatever it is. This was going to get filled. We knew that. These stops were going to get taken out, right? Because this was a short. Remember, I'm not going to draw it again here, guys, but the short, you don't even need to see the fib here, right? That's a retracement. So there's liquidity here. There's liquidity here. There's a higher time frame block with liquidity above it. Sentiment is shifting. You know, and we had ample opportunity to get in this long. And that's why I told you one of the hardest things in trading, guys, is patience. Is waiting for this fucking setup. All of these nice little longs, they're great. This is the money move. This is the trade you want to be in, right? So this was a very, you know, kind of classic setup. You know, we had the sweep of lows into a higher time frame, a higher low with all the liquidity in the world above the market. We have a retracement into the order block, you know, all the confluence you could want to get long. And I posted this long, and on Twitter, what I had said is I'd taken some profit. I use fibs as well as levels to take profit, right? So I started scaling out my long. I took a portion off. I had an entry somewhere down here. I think my entry was not this good. I think it might even be closer to 6,900. I don't quite remember. I took a portion off here. I took another portion off here. I took some off as we were hitting this daily block. And then I let a small portion of it ride, and I ended up closing the rest of it out, you know, somewhere up here. And then I saw, as you guys saw, I posted this morning a short. Just based on the fact that we had a huge inefficient price move up, running a significant swing and stops above the market. I took a short up here, and I'm going to go into that in a little more in a second here, but to finish off the thought on this long, I hope all of this makes sense and is kind of adding up with what you're learning from me, from ICT, from wherever else you're looking into with liquidity, order blocks, you know, and how you can find these very juicy trades. And this is the only trade you would have had to take in, you know, in the last week, and you would have crushed it. You know, so keep that in mind. You don't have to be trading, you know, all day. Everyone wants to be a day trader. I don't understand why, when you can make one or two of these trades a week, and make a killing. So this was the trade. Again, this was posted. It was counter trend. But it was an obvious trade to me, and I hope that this kind of stuff's becoming more obvious to you guys, you know, the more you learn. So all of those factors added up to, you know, this long to make sense. And then what did we have? We had sentiment online going, oh, you know, big green candle, we're back at 8,000, you know, Bitcoin is going to the moon. You saw CNBC Fast Money tweet it. What I want to talk about next is the short I took. So just as much as we had all of those factors, oh, and one more thing about this long. Sorry. For this move, you know, for this to be the bottom, right? It makes no sense. We hung out down here too. This was too easy of a move up for this to be the bottom. What you think the market maker is going to let all these people get long down here and then ride this thing back up to 8K, 9K, 10K, 20K? Of course not. But the market makers, they make the market, and the institutional money, these orders are so large, they need to engineer liquidity. The market is a zero-sum game. So for every seller, there has to be a buyer. So for these people to, or, whatever you want to call them, this entity, the market maker, whatever, the algo will engineer liquidity and create this chop, this sideways range to catch people long and short, and they will pile up liquidity on both sides of the market. And then what they'll do is they'll allow the market, then they'll buy it up. If they wanted to sell through this bottom, you think they're going to sell it through from down here? Of course not. They're going to get a bunch of liquidity above the market. They're going to pump the market up into their asks, into their sell orders that are huge, and they're going to pair those sell orders with buy stops. That's why they engineer liquidity, because they need a counterparty, and vice versa. If this was going long, they're going to get a bunch of people to have their sell stops down here. They're going to dump it into those sell stops before the actual move happens. So that's how you got to think like the market maker, guys. I kind of wrote about this on, in the chat. I think it might have been yesterday. Engineer. Let's see if that works. Here we go. Once they've engineered, so the big money, fuck it. Here we go. Nailed it. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Too much. So dump the chop. Algo is chopping up retail on both sides. The big money needs liquidity to fill their orders. So the false breakdowns, the breakups, this is what happens. People over leverage themselves. They place their stops up here, and the market maker, to make an actual move, needs someone to pair those orders with. So that's what I mean by engineering liquidity. The algo does this. It gets people to set their stops and catches them in the chop, and effectively it creates these liquidity pools where the institutional money, the big money, has enough liquidity to pair their orders with. You can't just sell $100 million worth of Bitcoin down here. You have to have people willing to buy it, so they engineer that liquidity through this choppiness with the algorithm. Now, that short I took it for a few reasons. Again, higher time frame context must be at top of mind at all times. Perfect example of this is, if you remember, we are still very much in a downtrend, right? Yes, this was a big green dildo of a candle, but to me that means what? A few things. This void has to get filled on the way back down. Yeah, we took out stops here, but we didn't break. This is the swing high to me that matters. If we break this swing high, yeah, I'm going to start looking, more for higher time frame longs. But in the meantime, all the longs I'm taking are on a small time frame. This long we discussed here, this was taken on a 1 hour chart. You could even find it, a smaller retracement and order blocks set up on a lower time frame if you wanted to. But anything I'm taking on the daily and the 4 hour are still shorts. And the reason being is that's in line with the higher time frame trend. So we came into a bearish daily order block. We ran stops above it. Generally, that's a pretty low risk sell. I put my stop above the EQ of an order block. Crypto Cred pointed this out. Shout out to him. Welcome to the channel. And I put my stops above here because honestly, if this swing high was taken out, I'm wrong, and I think we're most likely going up here anyways. I didn't think we were going to come this high, but my higher time frame play was saying, we're going to have a stop here, and I think if we get down below this order block again, we're going to see some of this void filled on the downside. But there's more than that. This isn't just a stop run I'm selling. What do we have here? I think the exact opposite of what I just showed you. We have a daily bearish OB. Here we had a daily bullish one that we got a retracement in for a long. And what do we have? We have a swing high here. Swing low. Is that not a perfect 62% retracement in confluence with a bearish order block and a stop run? Pretty low risk sell to me. That's why I took it. I posted that one live. I posted that, I think, around here. And you had, what is this, 8 hours to get in that trade. I'm not saying to copy my trade exactly. Of course not. I'm nothing I say here is financial advice. Who the fuck even knows if I know what I'm doing? But the bottom line is I posted that here, and my goal is for you guys to start doing your own analysis and seeing these things as well, and posting in the chat. And I'm more than happy to, to comment if I agree with what you're saying. I wonder what. I don't think the market gives a fuck what Trump's doing there, Alexi. Any sort of news or media, in my opinion, that is an excuse for the market maker to inject volatility into the markets to move price. That move, whatever it may be, it's already priced into the chart, and you're going to see it in the chart before the actual news comes out. That's why whenever you see, the news post something about a coin, getting ready to, pop, the bull run's already happened. Like, you guys remember Ripple? And it was on, I think it was CNBC. They're saying, I think it was, I think it was around here. CNBC was like, Ripple, the next cryptocurrency to this is actually starting to look attractive as I digress here, as I usually do. This is starting to get into my buying full retrace territory. I would like to see it come a little lower still, like 30 cents, then I'm probably buying Ripple. Anyways, they were tweeting to buy Ripple up here. And if you did that, like someone said in the group here, someone bought Ripple from CNBC. Right? Like, they're buying it up here. They're buying the top, and that's because the move's already happened. The news is always lagging. That's why I hate people who say, oh, well, you got to sell the news, buy the news. Fuck the news. If you're trading based on the news, you're losing money. Anyways, I want to keep this video short, so I'm going to cut it here, guys, but I want to show, the other reasons I took this short. And I want you guys to start thinking like the market maker. Think like the counterparty. What would you do to fuck the masses? Well, you would probably rip Bitcoin up with $1,000 green candle and blow out all of these late bears who should have been shorting this fucking thing all the way down, and shaking it up and, engineering this liquidity and then taking the liquidity. You got to start thinking like the market maker and framing your trades in that mindset. And that's going to help you become a better trader. So we have the higher time frame block, the run on liquidity, fib retracement. That's why I made this sell. Anyways, this has been a quick one. Like I said, I'm moving this weekend into a new place, so we'll do some more videos next week. I know some guys mentioned, maybe doing a live video. I would be down. The only issue is, I don't know where all of you guys are from, so I find it kind of hard to do it timing wise, the live stuff. But if we can get enough of you that it's worthwhile, at least a handful of guys in the group, so they can be asking questions and things like that, I'm more than happy to do some sort of live session. Anyways, it's been a quick one from your boy Trader Mayne, and we'll talk soon, guys.